Hi, kitty cats. Human identity, I think we all know this, is not only biology. Humans have a great range of experiences that simply can't be captured by genetics alone. Now, I've said this many, many times. As I was reading a book this week about by a esoteric author named Storm Faerywolf, I found a model of queer self-discovery that was called the Amethyst Pentacle. Not Amethysta Pentacle, but there you go. Hey, Amber. Now, I really like this model, and it's not just because it has the word amethyst in it. The model really breaks down how I see each of us discovering and manifesting our identity over the course of our life. So, today, I want to take a break from all of the politics that I've been talking about, talk about some fun stuff. It's really kind of philosophy, but it's called the Amethyst Pentacle. And then, luckily, we have Amber here. As they say in Super Lesbian Animal RPG, we're not out of the Amber Woods yet. So let's try to get the guild to safety, and we'll save the town. Let me say hello to a couple of people. I already see. So I already said Amber. I see Brenda. Hello, Brenda. It has been a while since you've been here. So Margie says she cannot participate today. She is going to see the doctor. So, blessings to you, Margie. Hopefully all works out well. I also saw Genevieve, and I also see Angela as well. I think I got a little bit of lipstick on my teeth, don't I? Hello, Slay Duck Cookie. Oh my gosh, look, my wife's there. Julian Hornhouse. I'm not sure I've seen you before. Sounds good. Thank you. All right, let me do my little opening stuff. First of all, I'm Dr. Amethysta Herrick. I am both a scientist and a content creator. Typically what I do is discuss identity and gender using the scientific method. It'll be interesting today. I'm going to talk a little bit about philosophy instead, but it's still identity. You can find more information about me and the work that I do at my website, which you can see down below. That is purplepawclan.com. If you go there, I have a page dedicated just to myself. And you can see all the social media networks that I'm on. You can read the articles that I write. You can listen to and watch the podcasts that I record with very interesting people. In fact, I just released one Friday with a very interesting author. And finally, you can also check out the hypnotherapy work that I do to help people work through some of their issues with identity and gender. Oh my gosh, Chiropter Girl is here. Hello. And the Pokey Guy 7 says, how am I doing? I am doing okay. And I hope, Pokey Guy, you are doing all right as well. If you would like to support this work, all of that I'm talking about, articles and podcasts and hypnotherapy, you can get a subscription, first of all, on my website for as little as $5 a month. But even if you just sign up for my free newsletter that publishes about every 2 weeks, that's a way to support me as well. If you follow me on social media, you can like, you can share. Those are all the things. And then finally, I also publish other people's work on my website, the Purple Paw Clan website. So if you'd like to contribute your original work about identity and gender, please email me. There's a contact page on my website, which once again, purplepawclan.com. I swear I'm done. So Chiropter Girl says she loves my shirt. So here's I like this one. This was this year's Elvira Pride shirt. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to end up getting banned if I, turn this a little bit more explicit, but it's Elvira sitting on a pride moon. It's a lot of fun. I get a good kick out of that. Okay. So here's why I'm here. Yeah. See, Chiropter Girl says she loves the Elvira rep, right? So I want to tell you a quick bit about Elvira. So I lived in Los Angeles. I grew up in Los Angeles. The original show that she had was 1981, 1982, something like that, somewhere in the general area. I was 11 or 12 years old. I had a very late puberty as well. So this will all come together, I swear. But I had very late puberty, and so I watched Elvira. I'm looking at Elvira going, oh my gosh, I hope I turn into that. Mainly I was thinking the head and the hair and the makeup and everything and her attitude because I was very shy. Anyway, I have always loved Elvira. One of these days I need to meet Cassandra Peterson. If you're watching, Cassandra, hi. I don't think she's watching. So, all right, so here's what I want to talk about today. There is a book named The Satyr's Kiss. You can go and find this. So Storm Faerywolf is an esoteric author. He is the author of this book, The Satyr's Kiss. I interviewed him on my podcast, I don't know, sometime in the past year. Let's say that. In fact, actually, I interviewed him twice. It was a huge pain. We had a great conversation. And then as it turned out, the somehow like the audio didn't come through or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I was so upset. And I sent him an email and I said, hey, I'm so sorry. I guess we're just going to have to let it go. And he says, well, that's fine. We can record again. And I went, really? So we did. And we talked about, the second time we talked about the same things. But we talked about gender and sexuality as it pertains to spirituality. Let's go with spirituality. Really, we talked a lot about magic, our existence in the universe, how we actually exist here in the universe as ourselves. So Storm's book, The Satyr's Kiss, as we were talking, I can't remember if we recorded this or not. Really doesn't matter. But he said, oh, you ought to read this book because it's about, technically it's about gay men. So it's really about, because Storm is gay, Storm sort of writes about his own experience coming out and especially as a gay man in witchcraft. So that was sort of a big thing to him. So the book is about being gay and how you can integrate being queer into a spiritual practice. Now he brought it up. He said he wondered what I would think of the book. He tells me, it really focuses on gender and sexuality, especially how our queerness does change the way we move through the universe, energetically, just in general. Now, somewhere in these discussions, here's finally the point. I'm finally getting to the point. Storm says, oh, you know what? There's an exercise in there called the Amethyst Pentacle. So he didn't talk about it much. He just said, oh, yeah, go check out the Amethyst Pentacle. I'd be interested in your thoughts. So it's one of these exercises. It's a model and an exercise that's in this book, The Satyr's Kiss. And again, that's a good book. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about a third of the way through it. And I will tell you, in my opinion, it's been a good read. So Grievance Takashi says that the universe owes them $50. Jeez. Well, I hope you can collect. That would be good. Anyway, this was like a year ago. Storm says, go and read this book. This video is finally a list of my thoughts. I'm considering turning this into a set of articles, like a series of articles. But I'm going to need to get pretty ambitious in order for that to happen. We'll see what happens. For now, what I want to do is just go through what the Amethyst Pentacle is. There is a difference. Storm is right. I mean, he's not kidding. That book was written targeted toward gay men. I am not a gay man. Maybe you've noticed this. I am not a gay man, but I feel it does have very good significance for anybody in the queer community. Because most of us have to come to terms with who we are. We might even have to defend ourselves, for who we are. And then I realized, I was like, this is a really common human experience. Like nobody, Grievance Takashi, didn't get out of having to define an identity. The difference between the queer community being forced to and somebody else is whether or not you're going to accept somebody else's version of you. Or if you go deep into who you are and create that person. I think that we... Wait, Charlotte says... First of all, hi, Charlotte. Charlotte says 50 million. The universe owes Grievance Takashi 50 million bucks. That was a typo. Okay. Today what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to take Storm's original work with the Amethyst Pentacle as it applied to gay men. And then I generalized it a bit. I changed a couple of the words, to feel more encompassing of human identity as opposed to a gay man's coming out experience and integrating with the rest of the universe. I'm not saying Storm's model is bad. I actually really loved it. The first time I read it, I was actually lying in a bath and I was just like, oh, this is so beautiful. Maybe it was because I was in a bath. I don't know. But it's beautiful. I have customized it, customized the Amethyst Pentacle to my work. I don't know, maybe I should call it the Amethysta Pentacle. I don't know. And we were going to do that. Then after that, we have Super Lesbian Animal RPG. As I said, we're not out of Amber Woods yet. Amber, you've got to be going, I didn't know anybody was in me. There was a dungeon or something, so we'll explore that further. Should be fun. All right, I'm going to share a screen here, okay? You're going to have to bear with me. I got a lot of windows open. I'm going to hope this all works. So we're going to first of all switch over to Photoshop. Ooh, are we? Yeah, we are. All right. The Amethyst Pentacle. Here's a quick introduction. It starts off with a star. A pentacle, right? And I made it purple. It seemed appropriate. It's the Amethyst Pentacle. I colored it purple. Why not? Now, a pentacle is a shape, but as humans draw it, let me actually move my mouse over there. Where's the thing? Here we go. As humans draw it, and I don't know if you can see my mouse. Hopefully you can. But as humans draw it, there is always a path. So if you start from the top and you continue sunwise, so you start here and you go down to this, going sunwise, up to here, down to there, and then back up to the top. Nothing surprising now, let's hope. It creates a cycle, and that cycle has 5 stops along the way. And those stops are connected to each other. You know, each one is connected to two other stops on the path. The stops on the pentacle correspond to states, like states of being. These are states of being that a human will find themselves in all through life. Let me actually show those. Where's the thing? Okay, here we go. So things like you start off with innocence. And innocence will turn into desire. And desire can turn into awakening. And then awakening can turn into oneness. And then oneness can turn into expression, which can lead back up to innocence. So we have a cycle. All well and good. These states are not states that we experience just once. The cycle is different for every characteristic that we would even consider about ourselves. And the cycle is truly a cycle. It starts and it ends, and then it begins over again. Now, some of us go through the entire cycle over and over, of course. Some of us don't. Some of us go, oh, that's too hard. I'm not going to bother with it. But think of these as states of being. Let me check really fast okay, good. States of being. So as well as there being stops, as well as there being vertices, right? I'm very all mathematic here. As well as being vertices, there are paths on the pentacle, and these correspond to processes. So the process, in order to move from one state to another, we have to take some sort of action. And action is a process. It's recognizing the first state of being and then changing it to another state of being. Now, again, these processes are different for every characteristic we consider about ourselves, but, oh gosh, where's the thing? Here it is. So we have processes. As you move from innocence to desire, you feel a sense of isolation. As you move from desire to awakening, you go through a process of integration. As you go from one awakening into oneness, you go through a process of realization. As you go from oneness to expression, you go through a process of bravery. You have to have an act of bravery. And as you go back from expression back into innocence, it requires an act of liberation. You don't have to remember all these right off the bat, okay? I'm going to remove these all again. I'm just using Photoshop. It's kind of... Possibly I could have done something with, a little bit snazzier, but here's what you get. So we're going to start off. What I want to do is talk through each of these states and the process that it takes to get there. There are also intersections. I did not write anything about intersections. I've been thinking about these because it's really interesting to consider the intersectionality of our identity overlapping in some way with the intersections of these paths on the Amethyst Pentacle. But I'm going to let it go for now. So let's talk about innocence. We're just looking at innocence here. Let me check comments really fast. No, none. All right. So just as so these intersections, that's one thing I have yet to really to think about. But I mean, I thought about it some, but I'm kind of like, All right, innocence. Innocence is an interesting state. This is a state, if you just talk about, what it means. Oh, and by the way, let me go ahead and, here we go. I can go back to the talking head here. There we go. Just that you don't have to look at the death by PowerPoint, right? So here we go. Innocence is interesting. Innocence is a state in which we tend to, oh, Angel is here. Hi, Angel. Innocence is a state where we tend to be unaware, in which we are unaware of substantive differences. If you think about it in terms of a justice system, right? Innocence means free from guilt. And guilt sort of plays into a little bit of this, right? When we perceive that we're different, that there are substantive differences, sometimes that hurts. Sometimes it hurts a lot. In fact, sometimes others will hurt us for having that difference. And maybe we experience guilt, but we only experience that guilt when we perceive that we're different in a way that is substantive. Love and hugs to you too, Angel. There is also, if you look at some religious traditions, they will call innocence being free from sin. So like Adam and Eve were innocent in the Garden of Eden. I don't really care too much for that because really what that means is that there are inherently sinful parts to being human. So I'm disagreeing with that. When I think of innocence, this is a state in which we're unaware of a substantive difference between us and somebody else. Innocence can be both lost and regained. So I already mentioned, when we perceive being difficult or different, if we go, hey, that's not substantive. If you go, you don't like my hair, it's fine. I'm still going to wear my hair like this. I got no guilt. I remain in innocence. And that's precisely what this model is all about, the Amethyst Pentacle. It's moving from a state of innocence, going through the other 4 states of being, doing the hard work to get through all of those processes, and returning to that state of innocence, where you don't feel different, where you're capable of loving everything about yourself. So how do we lose the innocence? I choked myself. I can't believe it. Innocence is lost because we perceive a difference. Maybe those differences are social norms. I'll throw a couple out there. Should a boy be able to wear a dress? Should a girl be able to kiss a girl? Now I talked about gender and sexuality, but what about should the son of a doctor be able to become an artist? When we perceive that who we are is not the same as everybody else, then innocence gets lost. And it's really easy to stop here. This is my typical point here. We could stop here. We could perceive a difference, and then we could go, well, that difference isn't substantive. You could say, yes, I like purple hair, you don't. Done. We could also just believe we're right and other people are wrong. That can get into a dysfunction, and I'll talk about dysfunction later. But we could stop here. Angela, I'm going to get to your comment. To go back to this diagram, we could stop here, but if we perceive this difference, then we go, click on the thing there we go. if we perceive that there is a difference, we go through a process of isolation. So isolation, I'm going to keep that up for just one moment. Where's my, oh, here it is. Innocence is lost through this process. We realize what we like is different from what somebody else likes. And it's different in a way that matters. It's a way that's substantive. Innocence, the state of innocence is our difference not mattering. Isolation is when we believe, yeah, this difference does matter. So it's not just the actions either. It might not just be what we like. It might not be wanting to do something, depending upon whether we're going against social norms. That could reflect on the whole person. In the queer community in particular, our whole humanness might be considered different or immoral. So this process of isolation singles us out. We realize we're in this group of one, and that one might not be very popular. So what does that turn into? I'm going to go back to Photoshop. Where did it go? Here it is. So what that turns into is when we have gone through innocence, when we've lost our innocence and go through this process of isolation to a group of one, we end up at a state of desire. Desire. Let me check comments really fast, and then I'm going to go back to, I'll go back to my head. There we go. So comments. Okay, so, Angela says, when she knew something wrong, when she knew something was wrong and then started to feel, I should read this. When I knew something was wrong, then start to feel where I need to go, but on my own. Oh, personality changes. Yes. So innocence, I think, or this whole process is where you feel something is wrong, but then you go, no, I'm going to figure this out on my own. You can change your personality. And I think that's the purpose of the Amethyst Pentacle, ultimately, is to help people go, you know what, I'm okay, and I'm going to allow myself be okay. So anyway, desire. Hi, Emily. I see Emily is here. So just to recap again, sorry, let me put this back on Photoshop. So when we start, we start at a sense of innocence, a state of innocence. We go through a process of isolation. Now we've reached desire. So let's go back to desire. What is desire? Desire is this first inkling, as Angela just put it, that maybe this difference shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Right now you've applied a judgment to this sense of isolation. You've gone, geez, I'm in a group of one. That doesn't seem right. And oftentimes, this is named desire because oftentimes when we're told we shouldn't do something, it really makes us think about it more. There are a lot of stories about yogis. Somebody goes to a guru and says, hey, I just want to achieve enlightenment. And the guru goes, no problem. Go home, but don't think about a monkey. Okay? Guy comes back a week later and goes, gosh, apparently I'm not very enlightened because I kept thinking about a monkey. How am I going to achieve enlightenment? And the guru goes, yeah, see, that's the point. You can't even stop thinking about a monkey. How are you supposed to control the rest of your thoughts? This manifests another way, like every parent, right? Every parent knows if you want to get your kid to do something, just tell them not to do the opposite, right? You go, oh, gosh, you're not eating the broccoli? That's good because we should really give it to the hamsters. You really shouldn't eat that. And then the kid goes, well, oh, hang on, maybe I should. Is broccoli bad? Maybe I'll try the broccoli. There you go. But we keep thinking about this. We're wondering. We're ruminating. Is the desire really that bad? Is what we like that bad? Maybe it turns into an internet search. Maybe it's talking to somebody you know. Maybe it's talking to Angela, who's got a lot of experience here. Maybe we need to understand why we desire what we do. Now, we could stop here, right? We could stop here. Desires are not the same as actions. We could stop. If the difference is substantive, maybe we're going to decide it's not worth the risk. because the risk might get you kicked out of social areas. It may be not worth it. You could stop here. You go, I've got the desire. I've lost my innocence. I feel isolated, but that's fine. Instead, what you could do, here we go, I love this. Angel says, yeah, the food, this is the way to do it. You said it much better than I did. Giving it to the hamster sucks. That was a terrible example. You just go, that food or that book or that whatever, it's kind of too grown up for you. You're not going to like it. And then, of course, 10 years later, they're like, this is the greatest thing ever. I know, I'm glad. So here's the point. So Angela says, the desire just gets stronger. Like, you could stop there. You could go, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. The difference is too substantive. But the desire will just get stronger. And you know that you have to take it further. You know you do. And that's how, let me turn this off. Here we go. Now I got to go back to Photoshop. That's how you end up, I got to put you on. There we go. Got to show it too. It won't make any sense. That's when you begin this process of integration. Integration. You've gone through a process of isolation and you've been turned into a group of one. Now you need to perform a process of reintegration. That reintegration, that desire is first the desire for knowledge. Could there be other people out there doing what I'm doing? Is this a crime? Is this a taboo? Will this get me in trouble? Do chicks think it's cool if I do this? Integration. It might just be learning a label, right? People who desire are called whatever. Might be learning a label, but this process of labeling a desire now integrates us into a concept. Now we can turn the desire into an action, possibly even into an experience, but first we have to be able to figure out what it even is. And let me go back to this. That ends up turning into awakening. Awakening. All right, we can talk about, so here we go. We've gone from a state of innocence. We felt isolated. Now we feel the desire. We've got to do this. We've got to figure it out. So we start figuring it out. We get a label. And now we can go, we have a label that isn't that interesting. Now we've reached this state of, here we go. Now we've reached this state of awakening. Let me turn off the talking head so I can talk about it. Awakening. Let's look at the comments too. See, here's the thing. I'm trying to talk about identity and everybody's like, see, this is about gender, right? Hi, Slayman, Slaymanasir. I'm sorry, I don't say that well. I do like, I do kind of like the color purple, right? So Emily mentions she knew she was transgender long ago. Angela brings up an interesting point. In the 1970s, especially specifically in the UK, it was a crime. Crazy. This integration ultimately, I think Brenda makes an excellent point. You hit a critical mass. You go, listen, I don't have any choice but to investigate this further. So stand by on this. This is going to be this is interesting. When you look at, turn that off. Awakening. Once you can label a desire, you can investigate it completely. Now you can find websites. Now you can find locations where maybe they do what it is you desire to do. Maybe you can find education. Because once again, remember I was talking about doctors' children turning into artists too. It's not I recognize being transgender is 100% what we're talking about here. But once we experience something in other actions, not necessarily our actions, certainly not our actions at this point, but once we experience it, we awaken that experience inside ourselves. Everybody here, well, a lot of the people here, if I use the words egg crack, it's exactly what the awakening is. We've seen what the desire means. Now we can't unsee it. The thing with awakening is that it can be so painful. So painful. Maybe we don't want to assume a label. Because maybe if we assume a label, what it's going to do is get us kicked out of groups that we want to belong to. Maybe it's going to get us kicked out of a political group or a social group, a religious group. And so, I keep saying this, we can stop here. We can just stop. We can believe that the desire is wrong. That yes, there is a difference and it is substantive, but we are wrong. The social norm is right. And we can go, you know what? I believe this desire should never be made real, should never be brought out into the universe. See, here we go. Angela says she started to awaken to people in the news who were transgender, just like she felt. And I mean, I'll tell you, when I was young, when I was a kid, oh yeah, you might get kicked out of a family. Slave on Yasir says as well. See, you might get kicked out of your family. When I was a kid, like there were characters that I saw on television that I was like, how about that? I remember there was, I don't know who it was. I remember there was somebody on, what the hell was it called? Oh, All in the Family with Archie Bunker. He had a cousin, or I don't even really remember who it was. All I remember about this person is that at one point, the character walks down the stairs and is very flamboyant, and Archie's like, oh, you know, whatever. Does the, oh, Jesus, whatever. Jesus Christ, eat it. And there you go. But I remember seeing this person and going, why is that wrong? Here's somebody who's wearing feminine clothing, I think supposed to be masculine. Why is that wrong? So we could stop here. Anyway, what do we, here we go. So we could stop here. So now we got to pull back up. Oh gosh. So now I got to pull this back up. So we could stop here, but we could also go through this process of realization. So here we go. Realization. Realization is an interesting state, or is an interesting process. Realization is saying that you have to accept once seen, never unseen. You have to accept that you own that label and that you can make it yours. You start to believe that maybe fulfilling this desire is going to be better than suppressing it. Now we get to a point where we can begin to make this real in our lives. Now we're at a point where maybe we might even take action ourselves. And that leads us to, where's the thing? Here it is. That leads us to oneness. Before I talk about oneness, give me one sec. I'm going to do my station identification stuff. I'm Dr. Amethysta Herrick. I am a scientist, and today I'm talking about a model of identity called the Amethyst Pentacle. And this is it right here on the screen. Look at that. All right, oneness. Let's get back to oneness. Let me actually move this thing off. Here we go. Talking head. Okay, oneness. We have, oh shoot, hang on. I'm sorry, folks. You'd think I'd practice this. No. So we've moved from this state of innocence. We've become isolated, and we've gone, no, I do have to figure out what this desire is. Through the ability of finding a label, we end up sort of integrating into a group. And that group gives us the ability to awaken within ourselves that maybe what this group represents is us too. Now, realization is actually bringing that into ourselves. So now we have this state of oneness. I've said before that gender transition takes, the first two steps are the worst two. The first one is accepting that you are transgender. That's awakening. The second one is believing that it's okay. That it's okay for you to be transgender, and that it's okay for you to do something about it. That believing that you're okay and able to do something about it, that is the oneness. You've accepted this desire ought to be fulfilled. You've accepted the label privately. Now, we could stop here, right? We could. We don't have to believe that we're allowed to take action. We've gotten to this point. We go, okay, I own this. I accept this. But we don't have to believe that we're allowed to take this action. We could spend the rest of our lives knowing we'd like to, but denying ourselves. And I think there are probably a few people here who can, you know, who understand what I'm talking about. There's a word I was looking for. I was going to say correlate. What the hell's my word? The word I'm looking for. I like this. I love how Emily says she loves being transgender. I got to tell you, I wasn't very happy at the beginning. I feel much better now, for what it's worth, and I do like being transgender. I do appreciate that I have a different take on identity than the rest of the world. I think that's important. And I think when you've gotten, so Angela, when you've gotten to the you can't stop no matter how you try, this is where you've now said, okay, I do believe I'm allowed to take action. Not only do I believe I'm allowed to take action, but damn it, I am going to. So Genevieve, was Beverly LaSalle, was that Archie Bunker's like a stepbrother, or like maybe Edith's something? I don't really remember. Who's Beverly LaSalle? Maybe I should just ask that. That's probably easier. So here we go. Let me return to the Photoshop dealie here. I really should have done this in something else. All right, so we've at oneness. We've achieved oneness. We believe that we should take action, and now we have to go through a process of bravery. You have to have some bravery. You have to go through a process where you recognize that what you desired was initially a substantive difference. Maybe a difference substantive enough to stop. And maybe you go, I don't really want to make waves. But here is where we've exactly with what Angela just said. You can't stop no matter how you try. You're going to reject that social norm. And that takes bravery. You don't have a choice. But you do have to go through this process where you suck it up and go and do it. So here we go. So Angela says she accepted that she was transgender and knew she could go through with it when her mother accepted her. Wow, that's amazing too. I love that. So it was your mother accepting you that gave you the strength that gave you the rest of the bravery necessary to do it. I think that's beautiful for what it's worth. All right, I have left this thing up here because so now we've gone through oneness, you have an act of bravery, and now you have the state of expression. The state of expression. This is important. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Genevieve says Beverly LaSalle Archie saves her life in his taxi cab, so she becomes Edith's friend. Maybe. That could be. I don't remember who it was. All I remember is seeing somebody and going, I wonder who that was. I wonder what that is. And I was super young. I mean, it was, single digits. Okay, expression. We finally got into expression. Expression, now you've accepted the desire, and now we perform the action. Oh, Genevieve, that's what yes. That is it. So Genevieve says that Beverly LaSalle ends up being killed for being a female impersonator. Yes, I remember she dies. I have the feeling this is who we're talking about. Thank you for telling me. I've had that memory in the back of my head forever, and always kind of wondered what the hell it was. So thank you for helping me out with that. All right, expression. We have finally gotten to expression. We've accepted the desire. We've believed that we can perform the action, and now we've summoned the bravery, and now we're going to perform the action. Now you can experience. Now you have the experience. And who knows? Maybe the experience is pleasant. You don't know unless you try it. This is, one of the things that all my parents kept telling me, right? They said, you need to eat your broccoli. And I said, I don't want to. And then they said, you know what, you're right. It's too grown up. And I went, give me all the broccoli. So expression. We could stop here. We could express who we are. And we could always believe it's wrong. You could say to yourself, yeah, sure, this feels good. But we always end up feeling guilty. And I know plenty of possibly transgender women who originally bought some clothing and then they'd bring it in and then, purge it, right? Maybe some of you, have done this yourself. We could stop here. We could go, this feels great, but I'm going to end up feeling guilty. And that's just how it goes. So finally, we're going to hit this. Where is it? Did it go? That's weird. Okay, go back to this. Okay, so in order to stop feeling guilty, we end up going through this last process, liberation. Liberation is when we recognize that all of our experiences are only part of a greater human experience. This is the point where you end up being able to return to that state of innocence. Because whether or not the difference is substantive, and maybe you think, well, it's not, actually. All I'm doing is wearing different clothes from somebody else. That is not a substantive difference. Or you might actually say it might be different, but it's not wrong. And I think that's ultimately where what ends up being liberating. Is that you end up going, you know what, I'm not going to allow this substantive difference to hold me back. So it might be different, but it's not wrong. And once you've done that, now we can return to, now you can see we're back at innocence. And at innocence, now we are unaware. Remember, originally the way I put it is that it is the state of being unaware of any substantive difference between you and the rest of the world, whatever. So there you go. That is the whole cycle. I kept on saying, and I kind of enjoyed it too. I kept on saying, we could stop here. So there's one last point that I do want to bring up, and I don't even need to show this anymore. I'm going to go back to this. Okay. All right, I'm going to show a couple of things. So first of all, so Genevieve says actually we should be using the words he, or the pronoun he, not she, because Beverly LaSalle was not transgender. She was a female impersonator, so I guess, a drag performer as we call it now. So I do want to show here a couple more comments. So Brenda says she denied being transgender for decades and then hid it for years. Yep, that sounds pretty familiar. Even after Brenda accepted that she was transgender, she thought she was sick. She had to shove it down. I don't think I thought I was sick, but I did think I had to shove it down. And then finally, like most of us do, we hit a point where you just can't live any longer the way you are. And so you change, or what? Shuffle off that mortal coil? Maybe. Angela says, sure, once she transitioned, she was so happy, so accepted. Oh, sorry, I missed this one, Angela. I meant to pop it up. As far as bravery goes, too, Angela also brings up, it takes bravery to tell people, she was transgender in 1990, when most people had no idea what that even meant. To be clear, I don't think a lot of people today know what it means to be transgender. But then Amber agrees, oh yeah, sure, this is it, right? You get to a point where you cannot live any longer like that. Brenda brings up, the purge. Right? There's the purge. Once you stop purging, now you've gone through the process of liberation. Ooh, the purge. Thousands of dollars and some gorgeous clothes. Yeah, down the drain. I'm not laughing. It's more crying than anything. Where was the other? Here we go. Okay. Ooh, a lot of people have joined. I'm sorry, a lot of people I missed. Dysfunction. I want to talk about stopping. I kept on saying you could stop here. I believe, first of all, innocence is the natural state for humans. Assuming that no human rights get violated, no human action is inherently wrong. It's humans who put subjective judgments on actions that become taboo or only taboo because of social norms. No other reason. And social norms are not laws. As Judith Butler pointed out, 35 years ago, 34, whatever, almost 35, social norms can change. That's why they're called social norms. Hi, Minnie. If we choose to stop at any state, that's ultimately where we experience dysfunction. That's when it hurts. That's when it manifests as something else. And I will tell you, even innocence needs to be moderated, right? Because I think we have some very innocent people. How do I want to put this? We have a lot of people in the government who maintain this state of innocence because they don't recognize that the things that they want are substantively different from what most people should. Opheliac 13. Wow, I love that name. Hi. So even innocence needs to be moderated. You have to make sure you don't violate other people's human rights. Once you get to the desire state, desire should always be tested. If you look at something, you go, that looks interesting. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe it ends up becoming a very important part of who you are. You're not going to know that unless you try it. If you have a desire, you should always test it. If you reach an awakening, that awakening should always be understood. When you accept a new label, you accept a new aspect of identity. This is significant. Once you reach that state of oneness, it requires manifestation. Because if you know you want it, you only end up frustrated. Here you go, this is perfect. Oh, this is perfect. Genevieve says, I carried the secret for 56 years. It eats you alive. Yeah. Eventually, you're going to have to set the inner girl free. There you go. Oneness requires manifestation. And then once you get to the expression, it demands self-acceptance. It's only by believing we deserve our entire experience then we can return to innocence. I'm not going to kid you, I don't do all of these great. That's not my point, right? I'm not telling you I'm perfect. One of the big places I struggle is in that liberation. I got to the point where, to go through the whole thing, pretty early on, I realized that I was different, that there was a substantive difference, but that desire never stopped. I continued to try it. I went through an awakening by the time I was in my early 20s and said, hey, this is totally okay. Going through my realization to get to a sense of oneness. And then I stayed there for 4 decades or so. About 4 to not quite. Then I sat there for 40 years. And finally I gave it expression. And here we are. All together here. I'm still struggling with the liberation. Do I deserve all of this? Do I deserve this experience? I'd love to return to innocence. And I hope that, we can all do the same. So that was all I had to say. I'm going to look at, I know I have at least one question there, so let me check that out. Here's another one. See, so Angela says she got to a stage where she couldn't pretend and started to act so feminine that people noticed. Then she told them who they were. Amber says it comes to a point you just can't hide anymore. Charlotte says she knew as a child that things weren't right. Her friend's second mom, wow, transitioned in 2000. Oh, wow. And it really brought out fighting in herself. That's cool, and trying to stay in denial. It's not cool, but I appreciate that you saw somebody do this in 2000. That's pretty neat. I'm going to love this question, I think. So Dodgy Archetype asks, can they ask a somewhat critical yet hopefully constructive question regarding the pentagram? Yeah, please. I'd love to see that. Because I don't think this is necessarily a perfect model. I know there's a lot of, there's a whole lot of the human experience that I think can I just got a little message here. I should probably silence my notifications. There we go, done. I know that there are aspects of the Amethyst Pentacle that could likely be firmed up. I won't kid you, I did all of the changes there. So it's right now. So it's almost 3 o'clock. So I started work on this about 9 this morning. I made that Photoshop diagram that I used there and then wrote all of my notes. And most of what it took was actually making that Photoshop diagram. I always think I'm pretty good in Photoshop. And then I'm like, how the hell do I do the what and the what? And then there was geometry and like angles and stuff, So anyway, I spent a lot of time thinking about this, but my point is, as I was making the diagram, that's when I was changing it from Storm's initial model that I saw in the Satyr's Kiss. Which again, I'm going to throw back out there. If you're looking for a good book, it doesn't even have to be, the book is a lot about just sort of owning who you are. And I think that is I think it's something that all of us could use. The ability to say, you know what? I'm going to come into who I am and be happy about it. So Dodgy Archetype, if it's not clear to you, I am totally wasting time until you put that question in there. But so here we go. So Charlotte says, so Charlotte was in a relationship. I cut off the second half of this, but so Charlotte was in a relationship. And the fear of ruining that after 20 years. So she spent 20 years worried she was going to ruin the relationship, and finally she accepted herself. And I think this is the best part. She can't believe where she is now and how much time she's missed as herself. Yeah, it is such a blessing to be in transition. I think it's the most beautiful thing ever. I wanted to frame the whole pentacle in terms of just the human experience, human identity. But it was so absolutely, when I read it, and Storm uses his own experience as a gay man to go through that, I just went, wow, that is so 100% what happened to me. So this was in what, 1990? Angela says she went to the bank Christmas party as her real self. The management didn't know what was happening. Wow. The new year they wanted to talk about it. Good. And hopefully they went, hey, listen, can we have a good conversation about this, as opposed to, all right, cut that shit off. What are you doing? Don't mess up our Christmas parties with a skirt. Which happens. You could look at this whole thing. This whole thing depends, and maybe Dodgy Archetype's going to go here. This whole thing depends on us accepting that there are differences that are substantive between us and the rest of the world. Now, each of us is obviously an individual. So this happens. Each of us has, what I've called the origin of identity. It's who we know who we are inside. It's the deep-seated desires, the deep-seated knowledge of who we are. And I guess one of the things that I do look at this and I kind of go, it's a bummer. Although absolutely the human experience is that we end up having to accept that. We have to agree. Our difference is substantive and worth caring about. And I don't know, maybe that's where you're going, Dodgy Archetype. I couldn't tell, but So let's see, that's that. Um, I'm gonna pop it up one more time just because I did sort of like the diagram. When it came down to it, I did like the diagram. So I will mention too. So here's some things too. So Storm uses the word innocent. So I'll tell you where I've changed it. Storm uses the word innocence. Storm uses the word desire. Uses the word awakening, but then uses the word identity. Now, I didn't like the word identity because I thought that all of these were aspects of identity. What the way that Storm explains it is, we've taken it as part of our identity, and I appreciated that, and that's why I thought, well, I'll call it oneness. I don't know if the little blue is the blue thing showing up. Yeah, it's kind of highlighting. And then Storm did use the word expression. Ooh, don't do that apparently. Okay. And then did use the word expression. So I did change that a little bit from identity to oneness. As far as the processes go, isolation was originally called strangeness. So it's a way of realizing that we are different. And so I wanted to make each of these an action. You know, I wanted each of the states to be a noun, or as noun, you know, as static as possible, and then each of the paths to be as dynamic as possible. So strangeness is a state. And so I chose the word isolation to say we go through this process of isolation. I'm trying to remember what word Storm used here. Resonance. Resonance, the idea that you found, or that you found an idea and you go, yeah, I resonate with that. I chose integration because I liked the idea of pulling yourself away, but then being drawn back into something. So I chose integration there. Realization. Ooh, I do not remember what Storm uses here. Ooh, I cannot remember. Not that important. I chose the word realization because I think of like Abraham Maslow and the pyramid of self-realization. The realization is something that actually does turn something into our identity. Storm uses courage here. I chose bravery just because it sounded a little better. And then liberation, Storm chose freedom, and I used liberation because, again, I just wanted to turn it into a verb type thing. So there is that. I like this thing. I really enjoy the model as a whole. I guess the only thing that I would love to consider is these intersections. How do these intersections start kind of coming together? You know. All right, I'm gonna go back to this, and I'm hoping like hell that I got a comment. Oh, okay, so here we go. So Angela does says, yeah, it was 1990. Okay, it was 1990 when she went to the bank Christmas party. They were understanding. Oh, found out what a transgender woman was, and then a few weeks later you changed to Angela just like that. I don't think, I'm going to say this, and it's not going to come out exactly right. I don't think that's a typical experience. I think I'm just going to say that. I doubt that's typical. It is an amazing experience, especially to have happened 35 years ago, but holy cats, I don't know that that happens all the time. Amber says no. Amber says no, that's not typical. Not in the least. So, one thing I think I'm going to do, so it is 3 o'clock, at least on my side. I'm thinking about taking a break. That way I can at least, get a drink of water. I can feel my throat going, you know what, can you give me a little bit of help here? So what I'm going to do is I'll take a quick break, and then Dodgy Archetype, take your time. So let me do that. I'll come back, and then if we have the time, it would be sweet. We can play some Slarpage, Super Lesbian Animal RPG, and we will be back. So give me 5 minutes, and I will be right back. Oh. Hello, I am back. I almost missed that. I was looking at my phone and I was like, oh, it's coming up in 10 seconds. I should probably, 10 seconds. Oh, I should probably do something. So Margie, I don't know. Hopefully this means that you had a chance to go to the appointment. I would hope so. Just in time for too late. I don't think so. Just always in time, which is why I appreciate a girl is never too late. She arrives precisely when she means to. Good Gandalf there. You know, the thing is, actually, I've seen Margie carries a big staff as well. It keeps hitting people in the face with it. That's a bummer. So regarding the bank thing, Angela says, no, certainly not the norm. And she couldn't use the women's restroom, but she could use the management one. So that's like, that's not bad. I'm glad to hear that. You know, Margie brings up, yeah, I'm glad they accommodated you, because that's pretty sweet, I would say. Hi, Shakespeare. I always love when Shakespeare comes in and then says meow. I'm like, well, it says bear. I don't know. Is that... you know, an interesting little tidbit, just since I'm killing a little bit of time. I think it was last night, my wife and I were talking about Shakespeare, because I think she quoted Hamlet, and then it just turned into a bigger thing. She goes, "Oh, what's your favorite, Shakespeare play?" This is the typical thing, we talk about on a Saturday night. Apparently, maybe we should get a hobby. Who knows? But there you go. So I actually brought up Macbeth. I think Macbeth is probably my favorite Shakespeare play. Just saying. Here we go. So Angela says, yes. Looking back, she was very lucky. Once she transitioned, she felt whole and at peace. So amazing. She had also met her partner, Andy. Okay. So they were together for 32 years. Wow. I'm kind of curious too. Yeah, I thought, because the story, as I sort of understand it, is that Andy did not work at the bank, but maybe I'm wrong. So I think what I'm going to do, just because I can, let me actually... Oh, shoot, I did not... Maybe I'll just try using the keyboard. It's probably a bad idea. Let's hope that my controller works. I don't know. Because, of course, I had to do this. I didn't turn on the controller first, and sometimes that screws things up. All right, opening back up Super Lesbian Animal RPG. It's coming up. Opponent. It's thinking. Give it a sec. It also says I can use Discord while I'm streaming. Okay, here we go. All right. There is this great... when this finally... Is it going to... It's taken forever to start. There we go. This has this really huge, like, musical interlude that I was not expecting. I'll just say that much. Yeah, here was slurping. When's it? It's not starting. Oh, well, that's fine. All right, continue. Let's go. Load. Okay, here we go. So we're still in Amber Woods. I don't think I went north. My recollection is that we did not go this way, but let's check what's up here. Well, what the? Oh, hey. At least I have... I don't know who these people are, but at least I have the... Look at that. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Do you know these two, Mel? Yeah, this is... Wait, we do? This is Beth the Beast and Mariana. I ran into them yesterday. Aw. I hope your car's okay. Both of them are aspiring bards. Oh, if there's one thing we could use, it's a bard. Why not? Oh, we're using the defrost, no doubt. I hope they're not hurting there. They're encased in ice. I hope they're not hurting there. Yeah, let's do something. I'd better get them out of there right away. Yes, we should. Here goes nothing. Bang, pow. Oh, look, they're cool. Oh, wow. most righteous. We were starting to think no one would ever walk by and notice us in that block of ice. Actually, we saw our buddy Bill walk by earlier, but I think it was running late for his shift at the souvenir stand. Yeah, we saw Bill. He was kind of a wanker. It's cool. We understand the importance of punctuality. Are you two okay? What happened here? Did you get attacked by a snowbat or something? Oh yeah, we're fine. Thanks for the save, Melody. This was definitely no snowbat, though. Oh, are you soundless? Oh, you know what? Actually, that could be. We saw this mysterious cloaked figure lurking in the woods. Actually, I don't know how that... What? Oh, you're right. It's not coming up. I don't know. Why isn't that working? There we go. I didn't want you to be soundless. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know if anybody cared, but... We saw this mysterious cloaked figure lurking in the woods, and his two bards fighting for truth and justice. We knew that was no good. They tried talking to the cloaked figure, and then we got frozen. Admittedly, mistakes may have been made. Yeah, I think we might know who's responsible for this. I think we're definitely on the right track here. We'd better keep investigating. Right on! Left off. Well, thanks again for thawing us out. Oh yeah, don't sweat it. It was a pun. Because they were enclosed in ice. Don't sweat it. We will sweat it, actually. We'll be sure to repay the favor someday. Adventurer's code and all that. Anyway, see you around. Right. Whatever. That's so weird. Oh, so we can keep going. I don't know. There was like a whole dungeon in the background here. Should we check out the dungeon? Tish, right? There's like a whole dungeon. So danger. Let's actually see what's in there in the thing. What does it say? Monster den inside. Yeah, monsters will attack randomly. Proceed with God. I think that sounds great. Wait, was this monster den always here? Well, it was here last week, Melody. I think I'd remember if there was a big cave filled with monsters right next to the entrance of the park. Well, either way, it sounds like a good place to stop by if we ever need to do a little training. Yeah, we should always check out the dungeon. See, look at this. Words to live by. You should always check out the dungeon. Oh, dang. All right, here we go. Let's check it out. Wait a minute. It's like empty. Can we go places? What the hell? Oh. Okay, well, that sucked. That's not a very good dungeon now, is it? Wait a minute. Oh. Is it just random? Oh no, a frog ball. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, I thought we totally healed up. Did we heal up? Oh well. Let's see. We definitely need to kiss Allison. Allison should, I think she should pound on the bat of the frog balls. The frog balls. Dungeon dunge off is more like it. Yeah, see, right at this point. It's like we walked around the whole room. There's only one fight here? Because, wow. Okay, she should... Oops. Dang. I keep doing that. Alright, she should use her skills. Let's use... I can't remember what the frog hated. Let's use the ice one. Ooh, somebody pounded on... Oh my gosh, they're hitting Claire. Don't do that. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Why do you keep hitting Claire? Oh, good, weakness. Okay, well, skills. Alright, well, we're gonna... Ooh, herbal cure, what do these do? First aid, we're gonna have to give first aid to her. Sigh. What skills do we have? Let's do this big... Let's give this guy a big boot. And then... Let's do... Hopefully that Allison can take him out. Let's see what happens. Oh, good. Oh, look, that heal me up worked really well. Woo! Okay. Oh, everybody's hitting Allison. Okay. Scorch. Ooh, yeah. Weakness. All right. I don't know. What should we do? Should we give... What was the one... Not Gust. Oh, Woodland Healing. That's what it was. Let's give that to Allison so she continues to make it, as it were. And let's give... There was a boost, right? Yeah, here we go. Attack boost to Allison. Pow! Now what? Oh, somebody's hitting us again. Don't... Come on. Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, well, let's all... So I guess we just all beat up... What do I have? Gust. Alright, sure. Let's just use a skill. Sure, high kick. And then let's use the Scorch again, like you do. I can't believe these people keep hitting us. Oh, wow. Wow, that was a really big pound. What happened? Was that Allison? She hit really hard. Was that a high kick? What the hell was that? Dang. Okay, good. What do we do? So now Claire's level 9. Good. Hey, treasure. Treasure. Alright, so did we go to like the middle of the... Alright, that was boring. I was really hoping that would be much more fun. Sorry, folks. Let's go... Oh, geez. Alright, we go this way. All we can do is go north. Head north. Whoa. Well, we'll save. Because this is what I do. Sorry, folks. Alright, go north. Alright, look at this. Here we go. Okay, oh. Here is a sign that says that way is east, that way is west. I know! East is mountains, northwest. Northwest? I don't even have a sign. The uncanny valley. There you go. What the hell were we going to do? Let's do this. What's over here? Toward the east. There's a monster. Do we just go... Should we just go back? Did we accomplish our goal? What the hell is our goal? I don't know. Let's fight these guys and then we'll see what happens. Because there was like a treasure up there. A bush. Ooh. Look, a killer squirrel. Look at this guy. What in the... Okay. Let's do the old Kiss Allison. What are her skills? Oh, yeah, no. Alright, she'll just attack. Let's see how... I want to bet you Frost will beat on this bushy-tailed bandit. Oh, wow. Oh, Allison, really... Well, hang on. Oh, wait, there's two! Oh, now that sucks. Okay, let's try this fire breath then, because... Wow. Because that sucks a lot. We'll give Allison an attack boost. Our goal is to kick ass and chew gum. Okay, so that guy's down. Definitely. Claire got hit hard. Okay, he's got burn, like you do. So now we can use Gust, because supposedly that's good, right? Wasn't that... Deals additional damage to burned enemies. I like it. This guy now gets a low kick. Why not? And I don't know, what do we got? Give him another burn. Because he resisted the ice. I couldn't believe... How does that happen? I love squirrel with knife. Oh my gosh, he made another! What in the what? This is sucking. How do we get out of this? Shoot. Oh, I really wanted to heal Claire, didn't I? Let's see if we make it. Okay, so she really thumps the squirrel. Okay. Oh, we really got to heal Claire. Is that guy going down? Good. Okay. First aid. We gotta fix Claire. How? Wait, there's one more. Ugh. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. And then she should attack that one. Let's hope this works. Okay. She knocks him out. Claire gets to go again? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay. We had like 5 goofy squirrels there. Look at this. Shakespeare says somewhere they have a shirt of a squirrel holding a switchblade. Unexpected. I agree. These are not squirrels. They're definitely rabbits, because that was weird. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So we have the bestiary. Good. All right, let's go. I don't like those guys. Let's go up here. Let's grab the treasure. A star fruit. What does that do for us? What does that do for us? Item. Oops. A rare fruit that immediately fills the star power of one ally. That's pretty good. I like that. All right, let's get out of here then. Because let's go. I feel like we finished what we had to do, right? I don't even know what we had to do now. Whoa. All right, now I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing a question. I'm gonna get over here. We'll go. Oh gosh, I guess down. I'm gonna save really fast, and then we'll see this. Go here, save. Okay. Let me pop this up really fast. Okay, here we go. So dodgy archetype, this is a long question, so I'm going to just read the whole thing. A lot of talk with identity is the, quote, true self, becoming who you really are, which is also implied to be somewhat static in some way, that you always being trans but having to realize it. Yet you go through many trials, emotions, trials and emotions through the pentacle, which changes your relationship to your identity. If an aspect of your identity was never estranged in the first place, you would have a largely different relationship to it than someone who was. And that estrangement is external to you. So if that's the case, how do you become who you already are if you have to go through the pentacle to get there? To be 100% clear, I'm questioning the idea of static, quote, real and fake identities and not the validity of identity. It is valid no matter what. I think this is a really good question. And I'm going to say I think that identity is not something... It's not still playing music. No, it isn't. Okay. I think identity is not a static thing. I have once called... I think of identity, so this, in my own model of identity, because, you know, this pentacle was another model of it, but in my model of identity, I have what I call the origin of identity. Now think of that as like a grain of sand. And like a grain of sand that's in an oyster, that grain of sand accretes pearl schmutz. There's got to be a word for that, but I don't know what it is. The schmutz that ends up making a pearl. The whole thing is your identity. Not that grain of sand in the middle, but the grain of sand in the middle that initially interacted with certain experiences. Right? So you interact with these experiences, and that's what accretes around you. So you learn something about yourself with every experience. So I think there are two different ideas of what I'm saying for identity. That's why I call one thing the origin of identity. This is our understanding of the things that we know are true, but we don't know why. When I would not actually think of, for what it's worth, and maybe this ends up turning some people off, I would not think of being transgender as one of those things that we just knew. Let me say that differently. I don't think of being transgender as something that is in the origin of identity. That you just go, okay, one of those things I know about myself is that I'm transgender. Gender being very intersectional, crossing so much, you know, not just our physicality, but our cognition and our behavior, especially as we express ourselves in a social environment, what we know are very atomic things. Like what I know that I like pretty eyes. Why do I like pretty eyes? I don't know. Does it make a difference? No, not really. That's one of those things that I just happen to know. I also happen to know that I like long hair. Why do I like long hair? I don't know, but I do. And I guess the point is, those are the types of things that ultimately end up playing into gender. So those are two atomic things that turned into cognitive things. So it ended up being emotional. Like, for instance, this will be so sweet. When I first met my wife, she still has long blonde hair, but she also has really pretty eyes. So I met her and I was like, oh, hair and eyes, isn't that lovely? That became an emotion. That's cognition. Turned into behavior as well, because women that I was attracted to with long hair and pretty eyes, I also wanted to emulate. But interestingly, I didn't want to emulate somebody like, what was his name? He was on the cover of like Bodice Ripper magazines. What was Fabio? I didn't want to emulate Fabio. He had long hair, but there were other aspects of Fabio that I didn't want to emulate. All of this is to come to the point that when we look at identity, I do agree with you that identity is not static. It can never be static. I think that when we think of it as static, that ends up playing into what we talked about, I don't know, a week ago, bioessentialism. Because biology, something like genetics, that can be thought of as somewhat static. Of course, the expression of genes is not. That's something we know very well. I mean, even just with emotions, you can change gene expression. But the idea that you're born in a particular sex and you cannot change that, despite the fact that you start off not as a sex and then have a sex and then maybe go to not having a sex because it has to do with gamete contribution. All of this is to say that you're right. I think the human experience is not static. And when I talk about identity, I think about it in terms of the human experience. A lot of philosophy does think of things as true self. Like that one thing that doesn't change. And I think that one thing that doesn't change is really still only the origin of identity, which is bits of knowledge, very atomic aspects of knowledge. And the thing is, too, because like I always use the canonical example, what's your favorite vegetable? When I think about, like right now, my favorite vegetable is broccoli. But I think it's appropriate to say right now, because that might change. Like, how do I know what, maybe I'm going to come upon another vegetable and I'm going to go, oh, well, I thought I liked broccoli. But really what I really like is, say, asparagus, which is untrue. I've eaten them both and I prefer broccoli. But maybe I'll find another vegetable and go, oh, okay, well, it's not. So our identity, I think, is the sum of the things that we know about ourselves and how those things have affected the experiences we have and how those experiences end up affecting other experiences. Because we can definitely say that, a lot of us have trauma when we were children and that affects our experiences. Some of us have trauma when we're adults. And that affects much of our experience as we go through our adult life. So to go back to this, when I say I always knew that I was transgender, what I mean is I always knew I was different. There was always a sense of isolation because somebody considered me different. That ended up getting expanded into the idea of being transgender. But really what I knew was that I liked things, atomic things that other people didn't. So, you're right. As we go through our experiences, I don't know if I would say a relationship to our identity changes. In general, I would say who we are always evolves. And so here we go. I would agree with you. Yeah, if it was never estranged in the first place, you would have a largely different relationship to it than someone who was. And that estrangement is external to you. The estrangement, in my opinion, is that sense of isolation. There's two things that we can do when you go through that process. You can either go, I don't really care. I am going to do what I want to do. Or you can internalize that. You say that estrangement is external to you. you can say, I find this substantive and I find it painful. If it's not painful, then it doesn't make a difference. And I actually have a whole conversation about gender dysphoria. Everybody, I believe, every human experiences gender dysphoria. For some of us, it becomes chronic. For some of us, people go, "Oh, I'm a boy. I'm not supposed to wear a skirt." Done, and they don't care. So, anyway, agreed. How do you become who you already are if you have to go through the pentacle to get there? So you're referencing my title, and I hear what you're saying. You really can. The main thing that happens, I had that one section at the end where I talked about dysfunction. We become dysfunctional when you get to a point in the pentacle and you go, I'm going to stop here. If you do know these things about you, if you do know that the desire is there, and if you do have an awakening where you go, yeah, that describes me, and then you get to the point where you go, okay, I've got to keep this, I've got to own this, but you don't let it out, you already are that person, but you are holding it back. And so really it's that process that allows you to get through that. So hopefully that answered that. I don't know. I'm curious how that worked, but really good question. I really like that. And for what it's worth, like I said, that particular model is not something that that model is something that I really only got familiar with in the past couple of weeks. I still really kind of like the idea of the piece of sand in the oyster. So, and I see that you do, so I appreciate that you like that. Ow. I do like this. Let me see. So it's a true privilege to have the opportunity to be ourselves. Even better to understand, and there you go. The understanding, I think, ends up being the harder part. Personally. Identity, you-dentity, he, she, or it, dentities. We-dentity, they-dentity. Identity crisis. I like that. Pearl schmutz. I don't know. What is what is that stuff? Pearl schmutz. Oh, poor Fabio. Right? What was going on with Fabio? Oh, well. Yeah, we all have trauma. There's so much trauma. Oh, I like this. Hey, Bo, I didn't know you were even here. Whatever I have in my fridge, it's my favorite vegetable, so it's always changing. All right, cool. Thank you. I'm glad you thought that was a good answer. Okay. All right. Well, enough with like the serious stuff. Maybe I should go back to the game, because now I got to tell you, I don't know what the hell we're doing. I feel a little stupid. Maybe I should have looked at this earlier. I'm gonna go back to it. All right, we're there. Oh, I heard the music kick back in. What the hell? So what are we doing? Oops, that's the wrong thing. Quest. So what's the quest we have to do? Ooh. Pepper wants help in her quest to take over the... Oh, yeah, it was Leone. Okay. Talk to Holly in Green Ridge. I don't even remember what that is. From Holly... Help Holly post her posters. I don't even know where the hell we... That was what we were supposed to do? Oops. Find Jody. Oh my gosh. Okay, things moved. Ongoing. Find Jody, who ran off, searched the Amber Woods. The interest... What in the world? I have no idea what the hell we're doing. I think we searched, didn't we? Shakespeare, this game is called Super Lesbian Animal RPG. Like you do. Oh, will you please walk in a straight line? Okay, so we went through all of this junk, right? Do we go north here? Okay, you can't. Fair. Okay, so we went... Do we go down this way? Oh, crap. There's more monsters. All right, well, you know what? I don't want to fight them right this second. So where do we... Okay. So that's fine. So we went through all of this. Oh, well, there's that goofball. Okay. So we did this. This didn't give us anything, did it? We didn't get anything. All right, what's down this way? Did we go this way? Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is all this? There's more monsters. What's over here? Does that go up? Yeah. Oh, there's another up. Okay. Maybe we missed this one. No, we saw this one. Okay. So let's go this way. Okay, there's a treasure chest. Can't go anything there. That doesn't go anywhere. And this all goes back over there. Okay. We've been through the Amber Woods. What the hell? Oh boy. I must have missed something then. Can we go down somewhere? This is the word. Oh wait, I saw there was a treasure chest. I'm not sure if I wanted to fight the monsters for it. Because where was it? It was over here? Yeah. So there's that one treasure chest. I mean, I think we've already gotten this, right? A Tear of Revival. Oh, crap. Are we going to make it? Nope. Oh, well. Oh, it's a single frog. Who cares? Oh, my gosh. Can we let's just all hit this guy? I mean, who cares? Jeez. Yeah, just hit this guy. Uh-oh. Alright, Scorch. Oh my gosh, he resisted it. What in the what? Oh boy. Well, that sucked. I thought we were gonna destroy this guy. Let's do a beast thing. Skills. What? This is now on your wish list. All right, Allison, beat him up. There you go. Done. I'm just glad that's over. Oh, so we didn't get anything. Well, crap. So I don't know where we're supposed to go. I feel like I must have missed something, but I don't know what I could have missed. What the hell was up here? There was something. Nope, nothing. Okay. And then this was... No, let's go this way, because maybe... No, nothing there. And this is where we just were. Oh, well, wait a minute. And so then the other one goes up into the mountains. So this thing goes over to the dungeon. Who cares? And then this goes up to the mountains. Did we miss something? Look, it's our tree, Allison and Melody. Oh, cool. We did that on a date a couple months back. One of the first dates we went on, actually. Wow, a hike in the woods? Way to splurge on your girlfriend, Allison. Claire, if you grew up here, you'd know that the Amber Woods are one of the most beloved romantic destinations on the Sapphire Islands. And also, it was free. Oh, she's a keeper, Melody. Well, I thought it was a good date. It's nice out here. Admittedly, there are usually no monsters. What's with a plaque with your initials on it, though? Well, the Amber Woods are a national park, so they don't want people carving their names into the trees. But, like Allison said, couples love coming out here, and the tourism board wants to encourage that. So as a compromise, they just let people buy plaques to dedicate specific trees around the park to each other, as opposed to carving them up. And now the tree next to the save station is yours forever. Oh, well, okay, there you go. Yeah, should I look in the dungeon? What are we doing? Because this doesn't seem... Was there something past? Maybe there's something past. Nope, nothing past. Okay. There's just nothing in here. I walked around and we had a fight. What do I do? We're looking for Jody. So what was up? Now I can't remember. What was up here? So maybe is this still part of the woods? Oh, maybe it's still part of the woods. Okay. To the east be mountains, and northwest is the uncanny valley. Oh, wait, look. There's still stuff here. All right, well, hold on. Sorry, folks. I'm not a very good gamer, apparently. How do I get through this thing? All right, what do we got? Wait, is this the northwest? Oh, jeez. This does not look like a valley. All right, so we can beat this guy. I know. Ooh, that's a cool snake. Wait, he's wearing a shoe. Oh my gosh, he's wearing a shoe. That's too much. All right, let's do the kiss thing. Sure, Allison can do that. I'm curious what's going to happen here. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. We got to go find somewhere to rest. Allison attacks. Oh, no way. The snake died. Oh, Allison has poison. That sucks. This do it? Yeah, it did. I hope he got a discount on his shoe, that's for sure. Oh, she never, oh, it didn't even land. Oh. Let's give Allison like a, where are the, what do you think she would like? Ooh, that's too much. Let's give her, oh, what was less of an egg? Oh, that's MP. Oh, carrot. Yeah, let's give it to Allison. Claire uses and single carrot. Allison attacks. Ooh, snake's down. Okay. Nice work. And we just got gold. Like, this is not really all that interesting. Can I get around the monster like this? Okay, what else is here? Oh, look, there's a, hang on, there's like a whole, oh, I can't get up there because I'm going to have to climb. Wait, what is that? All right, well, I guess, all right, I'm going to have to fight you, aren't I? All right, we'll fight. And a bloom beast. Well, there you go. Oh, the ever popular Kiss Allison. I hate this guy. These guys heal people, I think. So let's give Scorch on the bloom beast. I can't remember. I know that the bloom. I can't remember what that was weak to. Player gets hit. Does Scorch? Ooh, that was good. Weakness. Excellent. I'm glad that it really did nothing there now, did it? And let's just do attack on him. Why not? And now we have to do skills. Give the attack boost to Allison. Bang! Is he gonna go? He's down. Good. Oh, Claire gets hit again. Melody cast Gust. Well, there you go. Alright, we're going to have to do first aid. We're going to have to heal up or something here. Attack that guy. And then what did we... So I think he liked Scorch. Or hated Scorch, really, but... Yeah, cool snake. Claire is good. Cool snake attacks. You're a jerk. There we go. Bye. Nobody... Oh, an antidote. Good. Alright. Let's get out of here. So... Was there a path up there? Oh, yeah, here we go. Path. Huh? Oh, well, this is the northwest. Ugh. So what's up here? Nothing I see. Oh, it's gonna kill me if I don't beat these monsters. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, I hate this guy too. Jeez. Does she have anything good? No. I guess just hit the guy. That's Peanut Jeff Dunham's other shoe. What can she do? Let's give this guy a... I think that he did like ice, if I remember correctly. Infatuated. Pow. Pow. Oh. Nope, he liked ice. Dang. Oh, I cannot believe it. All right. Let's let's do woodland healing on Melody. She can just attack that guy. And Claire will give her an attack boost. Hey. Alright, punch him hard. Pow! Done! He's down. No. What did I... Hey, wait, what's this sun's... Oh. Oh, I can't do it on anybody. Okay. What does it do? Here's one for ice related. Oh, I totally forgot. Alright, well, what should she do? Let's just do the, Let's do the old, sure. Saber-tooth chomp, whatever. And now Claire... I don't even know. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, Scorch. Let's just keep on hitting this guy. Yeah, I don't like these. Oh, another one. Really? Alright, he's down. Oh, no. He's not down. Now he's down. Oh, boy. What now? I think we're all okay, so let's see. No, I wanted Beast. We'll do the Saber-tooth Chomp again. She can just punch him really hard. Oh, wait a minute. I got a big... What am I doing? Low kick. I seem to remember that really worked. An attack boost to Allison yet again. Bang! Oh yeah. There you go. We won. Alright, what do we get? Another bestiary. Alright, so we got him. We have to go this way. Oh, look! Ooh, there's a green lady. Alright, we gotta go see the green lady. We gotta get past this. Oh, boy. Alright. Skills. Ooh, do you think... I wonder if the green... hope the green lady's nice. Let's attack this goof. Actually, let's attack the snake first, because I'm kind of curious. I don't know if this is going to work out right, but I wonder if the squirrel only reproduces when you hit him. We'll find out. Ooh, he hit Claire hard. Alright, Scorch. Okay. So far, so good. Well, let's give this to Allison, who will hit on the old cool snake again. And then let's give another attack boost to Allison. And now she should be thunking that snake out of existence. Down. Alright, good so far. Now what was I gonna do? Let's give him the old saber-tooth chomp like you do. And then he gets a low kick. And I don't know. Oh, I don't want to take the chance. Alright. No way! Oh, he dodged it! You jerk! Oh my gosh. I can't believe he dodged it. Alright, let's just everybody hit him. Whoosh. Done. Didn't even break a sweat. Oh, good. Melody is now 10th level. Sick. Alright, here we go. We're gonna have to fight her, aren't we? Park Ranger Taylor. Wow, surprised anyone's here today with all the monster activity. Well, we're here because of that, actually. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Well, while you're here, feel free to knock some sense into some of these monsters. It'd be a big help. Well, that's, not normally something I would expect a park ranger to say. These monsters aren't just normal animals, Melody. They're invasive magical entities and they're terrorizing the normal fauna of the park. Roughing them up a bit should scare some of them off, though. Trust me, Taylor, I don't need any excuses to kick some monster butt. In particular, I'd be on the lookout for this big mean bird who started squatting in the park a few months back. Folks call him the Trash King. Does the nickname come from having a trashy personality, or... No, I mean he loves to steal garbage. But will also straight up attack tourists, adventurers, and the native wildlife if he's in the mood, so Yeah, I guess he's kind of a garbage dude, yeah. It'd be a big help if you could deal with him. If you'd head east from here into the mountains, you're bound to run into him. We'll be sure to keep an eye out for this trash king of yours, then. Oh, and hey, here's a map of the park for your quest log. Just in case you need it. Okay. Do we not have a map? I mean... Oh, I'd appreciate it if you didn't go snooping around in my fire lookout tower. There's lots of confidential forestry service stuff up there, like my bed and my field guides and, Okay, maybe it's not all that top secret. I bet you must get a great view of the park from up there, huh? Yeah, it's one of the nicer perks of the job. That and knowing I'm keeping the forest from burning down. Speaking of which, y'all are behaving yourselves not using any fire magic out here, right? Oh yeah, who would be reckless enough to do that? Well, that sounded kind of sarcastic. Oh, did it? Claire, can you look me in the eye and tell me you won't start any fires? I'll certainly try. Well, that's probably about as good as I'm going to get out of you. Yep. Okay. So much for that. All right, well, there you go. Oh my goodness. What the hell are we doing? Do we just go east? Now I'm trying to figure out. Should we do that? I'd rather go and heal up and let's go to the stupid save points and then we'll go back to the town and let's just figure out what the hell's going on. Oops. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to the town because how do we not find Jody? Am I a complete dork? Here we go. Okay, out this way. What do we got? Yeah, see, here we go. Amber Woods. So where can we go to take a rest? I just want to do a big heal me up. Green Ridge. I want to do a big heal me up. Can we just let's go to our house. I think this is where we live. Yeah. Melody, think of the children. What? How come I can't? Oh. Thank you. I'm a complete dork. That's why you love me. There you go. All right. I guess we're just going to the mountains. I mean, I guess that's it. I don't feel great about this. So let's get some, whatever they're called. MP. Which did the MP? Ether? Sure. Wait. Okay. Oh, we got a ton of ether. Who cares? We're fine. Alright, Amber Woods. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty. Look, it's got little flowers. Oops, this way. And then keep going north. Alright, and then to the east. Okay, mountains. Now we're going to have a big bird boss battle. Okay, apparently we're going this way. Alright, we went that way. Good. Monster's gone. Okay, we have no choice but to go this way. Oh! Harpy Monk! Dude, I wonder if they have you think this guy has a brother named Thelonious? Maybe? No? Ooh, that was awful. Alright. Harpy Monk appears. Yeah, you look pretty rough. No. Skills. Kiss Allison. What was that other skill? What the hell was that? Second aid. Oh, look at that. First aid versus second aid. Okay, that was funny. Wacky stuff. Yeah, hit the old Harpy Monk. Harpy Monk, not to be confused with Harvey Milk. No, that's really different. That's really, really different, everybody. Alright, what is she gonna do? Let's go ahead and try Scorch on the bird here and see what happens. Alright, infatuated. Allison attacks. Ooh, Harpy Monk does some damage. Harpy! Let's just give, whatever it's called, Woodland Healing to What's-Her-Face. Allison can attack, and Claire can do the attack boost. I think we've kind of established sort of a pattern. Thump. Ooh, I dodged. I can't believe that. Alright, let's just do attack. Let's do this big skill. Dive bomb. Never misses. Sure. Oh yeah, 400 points? That was amazing. Alright, how are we doing here? Looking good. I was hoping that was the bird, but I guess it's not, huh? It's not the bird. Right about now I want to give this the bird. Can I go all the way up here? Oh, I can. What? Oh, hey, look, treasure! Yay! See, I'm glad I... Wow, 400 gold. Oh, crackly sound again when the volume goes up. That's me. Sorry, that was me, I think, just screeching. Alright, here we go. What's over this way? Nothing. Okay, well, that's cool. Let's go back and hit those... Oh, come on, move. Hit that bad guy. Actually, I think of you as sort of a neutral guy because you're just like a snake with a shoe. Like, I'm okay with this, you know. Alright, skills. Let's see. These are the things that work. Let's attack Harpy Monk first, I guess. And then let's do... I don't remember. Did Frost work on the cool? Well, he's cool. Hey, he's got an S like a Styx. Like he's playing, you know, a Styx song or something. Whoa, feather arrows. That sucked. Oh, weakness. Good, I found it. Alright, let's use Fire Breath. Attack the monk. Give her an attack boost. Is that everything? Okay, attack boost. Allison hits hard. Oh gosh! What the what? Oh my god! Crap! Oh crap. I can't believe it, we just lost Claire. Oh. Shoot. Crap. Now what? Let's hope for the best. Oh, good. Okay, we're gonna make this. Oh boy. Let's do a big... Yeah, let's just get rid of this guy. Cool snake has been defied. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I let that happen. Alright, well, let's see. Do we... I mean, she's back. She's only got one... She's only got one hit point. What is this? Chocolate bar. 700 HP. Let's give it to her. Alright. So we have to go this way, right? There was nothing there. This way. Wow. I feel like I'm playing Pokemon. Can I go this way? Oh, I can't get through. Alright, up this way. Understood. Monster. What's this thing? Anything good? Okay, monster. Understood. Keep going that way. Oh, look at that. Treasure. We'll use this. Ooh, 5 potions. There we go. I'll take it. Alright, come here, you. What is it? Ooh, and 2 snowbats. Alright, well, here, we're gonna have to do the big beast. Oh, wait a minute. Don't do it yet. We have to kiss Allison. She should probably start hitting a snowbat or something. Oh, I don't know what to do here. Alright. No. Scorch. On that guy. Okay. Infatuate. You jerk. Oh, frostbite already? Oh my gosh. Alright, skills. What was oh, here we go. Claire. Let's do a high kick. Let's see what happens. Oh, I needed to heal Allison too. Oh no! Now we're gonna lose. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, we're gonna. Oh, I cannot believe it. I'm doing terrible. How are we gonna make it through this? Oh, I did not even save for the longest time. Ugh. Alright, what do we got? Can I... Oh, wait a minute. I think I have a... Don't I have a thing that'll bring somebody back to... Tear of Revival. Yeah, there we go. Let's go on the snow bouquet. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose everybody again. Alright, weakness, good. Alright, we gotta, like, do some healing here. We'll attack that guy, because this now I should be able to get an attack boost. Now I'll at least beat what's-his-name over there. Attack boost. Now she's healed. She got frostbite. Come on. Oy. I'm not feeling good about this, everybody. Gosh. Alright. Hit the stupid snowbat. Now Melody's gonna die. Wow. Okay, good. Sun Souvenir, good. Now. Let's do second aid, I suppose. Oh, I've got no... Okay. Let's try this again, everybody. Okay. And then the heal. Good. Oh, phew. Alright. Now we're gonna lose Melody. Nope. Made it. Okay. Oh, it's so... Let's do a high kick. Crap. I'm just gonna do a potion on Claire at this point. We are hurting hard. Okay. That was good. Good, we made it through that. I don't even know. Oh, I've got so much star power. I wonder what star power does in this case. All I can do is attack. And then hit her with a Scorch. Why not? Jeez. I'm doing terrible here. Okay, good. Look. Two of them actually, I think that increases their HP, right? Oh, Magic Missile. Oh, I gotta look at that. Hang on. There, we just gotta... Okay, cool. So everybody has... So we do skills. First of all, Melody can do... First aid on herself. And then... What did I see? Skills. Claire now has Magic Missile. Ooh, it does take... That's pretty rough, but that's kind of cool. I don't think we'll ever get to it, but we'll see what happens. Did Allison get anything good? No. Ooh, Fan the Flames. What is this? Heavy damage to burned enemies. Well, I have to keep that in mind. Alright, I gotta... Is there a save point? Really need a save point. Oh, okay. Alright, kiss Allison. What else do we have? Alright, hit the monk. Now I know. Hit the monk first. Hit the harpy. Allison attacks. Misses. Oh, I cannot believe it. It's unbelievable. Alright, good. Now she's burned. Now skills, I will use my Gust, which is bad on Harpy Monks. And then we'll attack, because I got nothing else I can do there, and we'll give her the attack boost. Alright. Now hit her hard. Pow. Feather arrows. Oh, you jerk. Oh, you jerk. Good. Oh, no way. I thought I was going to do in the what's-his-face. The monk there. Let's do the beast thing then. Allison will have to hit Cool Snake. I don't even know what to do. We'll just do Scorch on the snake again. Oh gosh, I can't believe it. Claire is poisoned. I'm just waiting for this stupid... Oh, wait, why is that guy not dead? Oh, I can't believe it. I thought the burn was going to do him in. Okay, well, hey. I'm sorry, everybody. Apparently, I'm much worse than I thought. Oh, well, they both are going to die. Let's see what happens. All right. Claire makes it through. Claire attacks. Harpy Monk is defeated. How is this snake still up? I can't even believe it. Just hit him. Take him out. My goodness. You're kidding. This is nuts. Alright, do the big dive bomb. He's got like 1 hit point. Harpies are contagious, but only when there's an active soul. Good point. It's a great point. That's funny. Alright. Really need a save point. Is there a save point over here? East, west, chip. So there was really nothing up there then, basically. Crap! Alright. I'm gonna avoid this now. Can I... Does it go up there? No. What's this way? We're not doing... Oh, what's this? A door. Does it actually go anywhere? If this leads where I think it does, then I should be able to open it, actually. It's kind of a restricted area, though, so, well, don't tell anyone I let you two in there. And by anyone, I mean Faith. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Who cares? What the? Oh my gosh, what the hell is this? Where are we? Welcome to the astral plane, you guys. You've been to the astral plane before, Claire? No, you're saying it wrong. It's the astral plane. Oh, sorry, you've been to the astral plane? I'm not letting you two say astral plane again until you explain where we are in a way that a magical novice like myself will understand. Well, I read a little bit while studying paladin spells, actually. It's a higher level of reality that's made entirely of magical energy. It's always there, intersecting with the material plane, but we normally can't see it. Magic users have been coming here for ages, although most of it is still unexplored. Well, that's a bit of a simplification, but yeah, basically. Okay. And what exactly are we going to find here? I have no idea. Let's look around. What? Oh, boy. Are we going to find, What is that? Oh, look, there's a big crazy way. Hang on. Save point. Okay. There's a weird rabbit. All right, let's talk to the rabbit and see what happens. There's somebody here, but he's asleep? Oh, yeah, that guy. He's always here. I've heard he's been here as long as anyone can remember, actually. No idea what his deal is, but people call him the Dream Knight. Is he okay? Should we help him or something? I don't know. He's still breathing, so he's probably okay. Let's just leave him be for now. Alright. We'll do that. And so this is a warp currently unavailable. Ah, there you go. Alright, so there's more stuff up here. No, no, there's not more stuff up here. Oh. Apparently we're doing nothing. Well, what's this? Can I talk to the rock? Hi, rock. No, no rock. Rock doesn't care for me. Oh, it still goes places. Oh, look. We can hey you well. There's, okay. Hey, wait a second. There's something in the well. I found a critter. Yeah, I like you too. Oh, the poor thing. We better find a place for this little guy to stay. Sure? Warp to Greenwich. Oh, no. No, let's not do that just yet. Okay, I'm going to save here, and then we're going to call it a day. Because I don't know what the hell we're doing. for what it's worth. This is the weirdest game. I can close that. I can shut that down later. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. I hope the Amethyst Pentacle thing was kind of fun. And if it wasn't fun, well, you know, this is why, you know, there are other channels you can watch. So I will see you. I will not see you on Tuesday because, as it turns out, I'm actually going to Los Angeles. My sister's having surgery and asked if one of us could help her out. So I will be there on Tuesday, not here. I will not actually be back until Friday. I'm going to be in LA all week. So thank you so much. Have a good night. And we'll see you next Sunday. All right. Bye. Talk soon. Bye.